Welcome to Yep Yeah Yes with Tamika and Marissa. Today we're going to talk about addicted to your story. She's slapping her hand like a what is it, heroin, crack, whatever,
Heroin,
whatever addict. When you're addicted to that story and you can't move forward. But first, Tamika, how you doing?
Good. How about you?
Really good.
Good.
How's your cough?
It's not bad. I went to the doctor yesterday and, got a new prescription of an inhaler. But I've been coughing today, so I haven't taken my inhaler all week, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Just in time for the show.
Yay. So, you have said this to me before, and it's such a good phrase. You're addicted to your story.
I have to give credit where credit's due. It came from Iyanla.
Okay.
When she was on Oprah years ago, she would, like I did with the beginning of the show, she would slap her arm. I guess that's what heroin addicts do when they're trying to get the blood flowing. Or it's actually, not even heroin addicts. When you get your blood, when you go to the doctor and they're drawing blood,
from the phlebotomist.
Yeah, they try to, hit you a little bit to get that vein going.
Right.
So, but she did it in a way to like the addict.
Like to let you know you're addicted to your story.
Right. That's the symbolism of addiction, hitting your arm. Whether you're a crackhead or not, or a heroin addict or not, it's like, oh, you're addicted.
You're addicted. So it's such a fitting phrase for a lot of things in our life because, as I was mentally preparing for the show today, I opened my Facebook, first thing I do in the morning because, God forbid I don't look at Facebook and social media, because I pause in my bed for a little bit. I can't get out right away. And I saw a post from my cousin, and it was so befitting to today. So he didn't realize that he was holding on to something from before. And he thought about it and reflected on it. But he was never addicted to his story, but he was addicted to the feeling. So he couldn't move past what that feeling gave him. So I'll give an example. I'm not going to use this example, but I'll give an example. I mean, not use the example from my cousin's post. So
the privacy thing and all that.
Mofos don't like you talking about them. So I'll use myself for an example. Every once in a while, I'll say to myself, nah, I really can't do that. I don't have the time. I don't have the time to do that. I have kids. I gotta be home. I gotta do this. First the fuck all, there are like a gazillion people on earth right now holding down 3 jobs, a single parent, 25 kids, no kids, all of it, and it's just an excuse. I'm addicted to my story. I'm addicted to my story to hold me back. And that's where, that's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to get to. Do you want to share anything? Do you have a story that you're addicted to?
Well, when you told me about this topic, of course, I took my notes and I'm like, there's 3 things that come to mind when I think about my addiction, other than my soap opera addiction and my gambling addiction. My addictions come in the form of my relationships. And when I'm talking about my relationship, not necessarily my friendships, but the men that I've dated.
The romance.
The romances, my lovers.
You're caught up in the bad romance. Your lover.
My lovers.
Your lovers. You know what I saw last night behind the candelabra? And I don't understand why we all can't be a bit of a drag queen and just say, like, this is my lover.
Okay, can we focus?
Yes, I'm sorry.
So anyway, my lovers.
Your lovers.
My past job failures, whether it be when I was let go or, whatever the case may be. Left on bad terms. And then childhood trauma. Okay. And so where do you want me to start?
I want to start with career first, work stuff.
Okay, so with the career thing, it's one of those situations where I'm sure we all can relate to this, or other people can relate to this, where you're working somewhere and you don't realize how good you got it till it's gone. Till it's gone.
Oh.
And you're like, it was so effervescent. Is that the right, like, easy?
Yeah.
And then it's gone and you're like, damn it.
Oh.
And how do you get back to that?
Oh.
And I think about that. One of the jobs that I'm thinking about is music industry. It's like I miss being in the music industry, but then there are parts of me that are like, I started picking up some bad vices while I was in the music industry because we mentioned this before, they party during the week. And it's like, you're at 2:00 in the morning, you're at the club
and then
on
you
a
drive
Tuesday.
To work drunk the next day.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
And I've been a designated driver and been drunk as hell. Like, what is that? Like, oh, you got, I'm the one that, like, a lot of the people that I was driving, they lived in the city. But they lived in the city, so I was like, I'll give you a ride.
Trekking,
Yeah, so I'm driving all over Manhattan, Brooklyn. Like, yeah, I'll give you a ride. And then I'm like, I should have spent the night at the last person's house.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But I still miss that. And so there are times where I'm having conversation with people in present day, and I bring up the music industry, and I haven't been in the music industry since 2005.
But I think the creative outlet that it was, because you're so creative.
It definitely afforded me that.
You need that. Yeah.
I miss the whole the marketing aspect of it. I think that's one of the reasons why I enjoy doing this podcast, because it allows me to. It's not in the same vein, but it allows me to think outside the box, be a little bit creative in terms of promoting the show a little bit. Although we're not like on a grand scale or anything like that, it's nice piecing clips together. And getting pictures and that kind of
creating
thing.
A visual board for someone else.
I think if I'll be really honest with you, I think the reason why I probably get on your case about it is because I need that constant affirmation. Like, your thing was so good that I'm gonna share it.
Oh,
it has, if I really think about it, is it really about you sharing it, or is it really about me feeling insecure? About you unwilling to share it because you didn't think it was good. You know what I mean? And so then that goes back to the addicted to the story. It's like my story and all of these aspects that I brought up. My story is about insecurity. And being addicted to your story is all about insecurity. It's about not being able to move past whatever feelings or emotions you've gone through in the past. What about you?
So I never realized how many I have. But I let go of one yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Which one? You going to share?
I'm going to share. Give me a moment because I got to breathe it in.
Get some water. Let it happen.
So, oh, my God.
You're not going to cry, are you?
I might.
Oh, Lord. I ain't ready for this. Not today. Where's my tissue? Where's my tissue?
Stop laughing at me. That's another thing. I can't stand when people laugh and they don't say what it is. No, because I'm still holding on to it. Because I'm around someone. There's someone in my life that does the chuckle, but they don't tell you what they're laughing at. And
I know you hate that.
To my core. I hate it to my core. Okay, so anyway. So I was thinking about my dad. And listen, I salute our armed forces.
Your armed forces?
The armed forces. My armed forces.
Your armed forces, me too. Look at how you said that.
So my dad was obviously in the Army. My brother is a lieutenant colonel in the Army. So very proud of them. And then I have grandparents and great-grandparents. So I'm very, very proud of them and their achievements. But I remember at one point in my life, I was like, oh, I want to go in the Army, because my dad spoke of it with such pride and dignity, and this is what you do for your country and for others, and you provide. And I was like, I want to go in the Army. And he goes, no, that's not for girls. That's not a place for girls. Women don't go there. Women don't do that. But this is the same person who didn't let people teach me how to cook, how to take care of a home, because he didn't want me to be trapped, as he said, as just a housewife. So, there's things that he didn't allow me to have as, a gender-specific role, but at the same time, I clearly remember, that's just one aspect of I remember him saying, that's not really your place. And I think the way he communicated it was very clear. He would say, like, that's not your place, or that's not for girls, that's not for women, whatever it is. But I don't think that he was clear in his message. Because I think what he realized above what my intellectual capacity was at the time growing up. Because he did die when I was 20, so let's make that clear. He passed away when I was very young, and he was very young. My emotional capacity at the time of such a, primary years of growth and who you become, of development, I think what he meant to say, that wasn't for you. I don't think that he was able to tell me. I didn't realize how, for lack of a better word, bohemian and creative I was or am, and I think he saw that. I think he saw like the Army's a little more of a box than you could. It would be a challenge. You can't. Not. I don't mean like you can't. Not that he said you can't, but what he was trying to say was it just wasn't for you. And the things that he would steer me away would just. And I realize it now. It's just not for me. And I had to let that go of the whole I can't. It's not for you. It's not your place. Because it's one of those things that when I hear someone tell me like I'm not quite sure you'd be really good at, all I hear is my dad's voice telling me it's not for you. That's not your place. But what is my place? But I let it go the other day.
That's good. What made you decide to let it go?
My daughter, I know I must keep bringing up these damn kids.
I know, every week.
Every week, there you go. So my daughter asked me, she goes, I'm not sure, veterinarian, astronaut, princess, teacher, motorcyclist, unicorn driver, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, I'm not quite sure if I want to be an astronaut. And I'm like, well, you can be whatever you want to be. And she's like, well, could I play football like my brothers? And I was like, yes, you can. And somebody made mention to me, I'm not going to point fingers or say who they are, but, folks around me had issue with the way I speak to her as opposed to my boys. My boys, I think the world tells boys that there is no limit. They have a plethora of examples. I don't feel the same for females. So I do a little bit extra for her. So she's like, oh, I can't play professional football. I'm like, yes, you can. You can do whatever you want. There's always got to be a first. What do you mean? There are no limits to who you are. And then it made me think, holy crap, why do I do that? And it's not that I didn't care what the other person said, they have issue with me being so encouraging to her. I don't have issue with that, but it's like, obviously I'm doing it to a point that somebody else noticed. But why do I have the issue with that? And then I thought, because this is where I feel like the process is. You have to stop, pause, right? As some would say, pause and pray, pause and meditate. Just pause and think of what the issue is. Reflect on where that comes from and let it go. So I thought about where that came from, and I feel like, I'm using my dad as an example, but I feel in my life, a lot of people have told me that's not for me, that's not your place. Either I wasn't smart enough, tall enough, or just enough, and I had to let it go.
That's good, because you want to let it go before you start to infect your daughter with that same mentality.
Or anyone, yeah.
Or anyone, but really the people that are directly impacted by your words and your action are your children.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to let things like that go. I mean, recognize them for what they are.
Right.
And the one thing that I've started to learn about parents is that what their intentions are don't always match what I take it as. So when you're telling me about your dad, I'm not thinking like, I wasn't thinking to myself like he's saying to you that women can't do that, because obviously there were women in the military.
Right.
I think it was like, you're better than that. I've seen what happens out there.
Right.
I don't want you in that.
Right, but that was.
But he didn't convey it that way.
Right, but with my emotional capacity, because
But the problem is that hopefully that's a learning experience to
others.
This is one thing that I can say about you. You definitely have a hard time expressing exactly how you feel.
Oh.
No, you do, because it's like, I don't understand what you mean. How many times have you had conversations with people and they're like, that's not what you said. I told you. You get upset because you're like, in your mind.
Didn't fucking listen to me, motherfucker. Yeah, but.
In your mind, you said that, and other people are like, that ain't what you said.
Right.
And you're supposed to read between the lines.
Right.
It's like, if I told you I'm not going to be here, that means I'm going to the mall and then I'm going to the park. And it's like, no, you just said I'm not going to be here. You didn't add all this other stuff.
Right.
Or,
Right.
No, I'm going out of town. You said you was going out of town. You left your neighborhood, or you going out of the state?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
yes.
You leave a lot of things to be left there. And I think your father, I mean, I never knew him, but based on how you've described him to me, he had a whole bunch of interests and never really told you what his interest was.
Right.
You were left to assume. Everything was an assumption.
Yeah.
You left to your own devices. And I think you picked up a lot of those traits, but, when you know better, you do better.
Exactly.
So I'm going to need you to do better. What I'm going to need you to do, that's a different show.
Write that down.
That was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but we gotta do part 2.
Because
what I'm gonna need you to do.
What I'm gonna need you to do.
But see, that's what's so great about like when you come to that moment, that aha.
But do you think you were addicted to, like, what about that was your addiction?
Because I'm always looking at, like, I'll use my brother for an example. He's always held as the gold standard when it comes to, like...
In your eyes.
In my eyes, yeah. But not only that, the verbiage that my mother and my grandmother and some of my family members use towards him. He's so dedicated. He's so amazing. He's the best father ever, best brother ever. And I'm like, whatever, he's fucking shitty. But no, he's not fucking shitty. It's just what I put on myself based on what I heard.
Would you prefer it if they said you were the best brother ever?
No.
You were the best father ever?
No.
They'd be like, really? They don't even recognize that I'm a female? I mean, imagine if people say great things about you, but everything that's said about you is not always said in your presence.
Right.
Think about that. Think about the things that have been said about him. Has he been there?
Probably not.
He might not even realize that.
He might not even realize.
He might have a view of what his mother thought of him, and you tell him, just like when I told you what your mother said about you, you're like, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm sure you told him,
I know.
if you told him what your mom said about him, you'd be like, whatever, she never said that to me. I don't know.
No, but that's the thing. That's when you got to know better to do better.
Right.
You have to sit in that. What's the issue? You have to sit in your issue and reflect on it.
Right. And then, so now you're in rehab?
I'm in rehab.
Going through it?
I'm going through it. No, you know what? The whole thing with, like, not feeling enough for my dad, it's gone.
Yeah.
Took a bit. Took 18 years.
You couldn't do this right before Father's Day this year? I mean,
nope.
A couple weeks ago?
Nope.
Whatever.
Nope.
So what else are you addicted to?
I have a few things, but wait, can we go to your lovers?
So yeah, I'm addicted to my lovers. I'm not addicted to them anymore. I'm not with them. I'm addicted to my story about my lover. So every time I have, there's like 2 in particular that I speak about. But the funny thing is that every guy that I've dated, there's a story behind them. And obviously, like I told you before, I'm like writing this book that I've been writing for years, and each chapter is it's like a nickname that I've given them. Mm-hmm. Each chapter is about them. But there's 2 particular men that I constantly go back to. And I believe that those 2 men are holding me back. They're not them physically, but the idea of who they were and what they meant to me are holding me back and stopping me from moving forward. Because I use them as an example and I rate them against other men. I believe
whenever you see like traits, do you
I'm like,
there you are.
He's gonna do the same thing.
Okay.
He probably got a girlfriend.
Ugh.
He's a hotep. You know what I mean? Like
hotep. Oh my God.
A hotep is like
yes.
Yeah.
Google it,
son. But it's like it's crazy because one of the guys that I dated, I found out like he had a whole nother life that I didn't know about. And it's like, did I not want to know? And so I'm addicted to rehashing that story in my mind to the point where I can't move on. Because I feel like I was left like Brenda in the rain, except there's no Jack to pick me up and bring me inside to dry off.
But can I say something?
Sure.
And I don't mean to sound...
Don't preface it. Just say it.
Okay. I feel sometimes when you look at your lovers,
mm-hmm.
I think you look for things, because I've said this to you before. I believe you don't feel like you're enough. It's for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know your value and I think you know your worth. But I think there are times where you look at yourself and you're like, I'm just not enough. So you look for things that are like traits to another male figure you have in your life,
mm-hmm.
and you kind of not punish yourself, but it's that comfortable cycle to stay with the story, to continue to, well, see, I wasn't enough.
Right. That's definitely true. And it's I'm addicted. I'm not in rehab. I'm addicted. I get high every night.
Every night? All right.
Well,
yeah,
no, I don't get... No, the thought of it.
No, I'm joking.
No.
Yeah.
Like, we talking about the same thing.
But see, that's the thing. But you see, you know better now. And
But don't drug addicts know better?
Yes, but this is what I'm saying. When are you going to pause? When are you going to have your moment to really pinpoint, self-reflect, and move forward?
Well, see, okay, so I went on a date a couple weeks ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy, I'm finding every excuse not to date him.
Why?
Because there's just, like, I don't want to say, whatever, he ain't listening. Even though I'll be so embarrassed if he's
embarrassing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, is he short?
He's short.
Like 5'2"?
No, I'm 5'2".
No, is he short?
He's short.
Like 5'2"?
I'm not gonna get into his height, right? But because that's not. It's the issue, but it ain't the issue. The issue to me is the ambition, and it's not that he's not ambitious. The things that he's ambitious about don't match my ambition.
But that's a valid point.
I know, but I'm always coming up with, every time I go on a date or start dating someone, I start thinking of reasons why this is not gonna work. Meanwhile, the guy that I loved, that had this double life, everything about him was what in my mind I believe I wanted. Like a high level corporate guy, dressed well, handsome as hell, sports,
but cooking
fish,
channel as well.
Could cook.
Yeah.
He cooked for me. He's fished, which I love fishing. I mean, he was good in the romantic ways. You know, like everything about him was like, he was my lover. You know, no, but I really liked him. Not just, it's hard to say it. It's hard to say that you like a guy.
Yeah,
you can be like, I love everybody. I love everybody.
But to like someone.
But to like and want to be around them.
Yeah.
And sit there and watch a Giants game. Like, you know how meaningful that is?
For you, yes, absolutely.
For me, yeah. But I mean, in life, anybody that finds somebody that can sit on the TV, if you're the type that likes Game of Thrones, sit there and watch Game of Thrones with your man.
But see, that's out there. That's out there.
Where?
I don't know, man.
Thanks.
I know. I'm sorry.
You're whack.
I'm really whack.
And the thing that bothers me too is that, like, when I've reached out to all of my friends for assistance, they're always like, "Oh no, you wouldn't like." It's like, well, can I make up that decision for myself? Because you never know if that person
is not showing you who they really are.
Right. But they're like, what guy doesn't act like an asshole with their guy friends?
Yeah.
You don't know how they're gonna be with a female, and I just don't like the whole cock blocking thing.
But I also think that people put preconceived notions based on, like, so your desires might not be the same as mine.
Right.
Don't do that either.
I remember, like, years ago, like, the guys that you would pick out for me, like, we'd be just walking, we'd be at the bar or something, like, I see you with that guy, and I'd be like, oh, hell no. Like, some guy that's, like, dressed perfectly and stuff like that, and I'm like, I don't want a guy that dresses like that at the club.
Yeah. But I just always, and I still do. I still maintain it.
I want him to dress like that when he's getting up to go to work.
Yeah, but until you act, but you don't know if he came from work.
But see, if you came from work, take your jacket off. Even if you just have the white button down with the.
Listen, baby girl, you don't know what's happening. I still maintain. I really think you should give that kind of person a try.
Well, that's not the look that. You know what that look says to me?
What?
That I gotta match your fly. And a bitch just want to wear jeans and a t-shirt to the club sometimes.
I always look a mess.
I'm not. I look fly in a jeans and t-shirt.
No, I'm not. I'm not talking about you look a mess. I always look a mess. I don't brush my hair every day.
We're talking about the club. I'm talking about.
I wouldn't even know what to wear to a club. I probably would look. It's not about you, Marissa.
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying, can we focus?
You're so negative.
Oh my god. But anyway, I'm just saying that. I have these with the Addicted to My Story, the story also encompasses the idea of the kind of guy that I want for me.
Right.
And it's all superficial, but isn't everything superficial when you first meet someone?
Absolutely. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that.
The bar is always set, whether it's high or low with these two guys that I was with. Whether high or low, it's always set against them. There's been other guys that I've dated since and before.
Right.
And it's just these two are the standard in which I measure other guys, and it's not good because they had such vastly different impacts on my life, and because of that, I judge other guys that I go out based on them. Do they fall more in, like, what is the thing you call this?
Spectrum?
Spectrum. Like, do they fall more towards, Hotep or more towards corporate?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I want the guy in the middle.
Yeah.
And where is he?
I don't know.
Thanks.
Maybe looking for you. Saying the same thing on another podcast.
Whatever.
But now, when do you think that you'll be ready to finally sit, pause, and move forward?
I think I am. I've been going on dates and stuff, and
but
I put it out. Doesn't the first step speaking it into the universe?
I've
been speaking it since day one.
No, you're right.
I posted that Plenty of Fish thing, and all these people like check my dating site. I'm like, no, I want a date. I don't want a dating site.
Yeah,
like I can go on them, but it's like, and I'm not saying I haven't. I actually met one guy that I dated for years on one of the dating sites, and I'm not against it. A lot of people get married over the dating sites. So
my sister-in-law got married on Plenty of Fish.
Yeah, I
know. Both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister.
So I don't judge against that. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm the guy I was going to marry met on Plenty of Fish. Right. But there's got to be other outlets other than social media.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And then I keep thinking to myself, you kind of meet the people. You have to meet people doing at places and doing things
that you're interested in.
Right.
Yeah.
So, anyway, long silent pause. I know.
No. I want to talk about your last.
The last one was the childhood trauma, which kind of speaks to what you were saying too.
Mm-hmm.
With from the things that your father told you. We all have those things in our life that, we make excuses for why we can't do something based on something that happened to us. In my case, maybe 40 years ago. It's like, really, Tamika, move on. But there's certain things you can't.
Yeah.
But it's the whole addicted to your story. The minute you start making excuses, you can accept your childhood, your childhood traumas, but you shouldn't use that as an excuse for why you can't move 2 steps forward.
But it's genuine that it's a process.
Right.
This is a process.
But how long is the process supposed to take?
I don't know. I think it's different for everyone. But you have to be in that moment when you're ready to move forward.
I think, I've spoke about it before. I was sexually abused when I'm starting at the age of 5 and periodically through the age of 16 and by the same person. And there comes a time where it's like one of those things where it's hard to move on. Because not that that he's not in my life anymore, thank God. And I feel free now, but it took a long time to get free. But I still hang on to the memory of those times. And sometimes I use that as an excuse as to why I can't move forward in a relationship. I remember when I was dating my ex, just to go back to that, he had a beard. And I'd be like, I can't stand the beard. It reminds me.
You were having a visceral reaction to the beard. Yeah.
And he was like, I am not him. He said his name. And I was like, oh my God. Like, all this, it sank in. I'm like, what am I doing? I can't, but how do you, I'm so addicted to my story that I'm utilizing it in my relationship.
Right.
And it's like, that's when that's not good. When you start using whatever story in your life, whether it's you talking about your dad in the military and stuff that's like that, and using it in your present day life, or me with relationships, or the music. I can't get a job because I was let go, and they probably know. It's like, don't nobody, you ain't that important, okay?
Ain't nobody
doing that kind of research for no menial job. Really?
But still, you're like, ooh.
You start telling the whole story to yourself, and meanwhile, you done missed out on the job. You go to apply, and be like, this job has been filled.
You're like, shut up.
See? They must see my name come up through the screen, that was filled. But it's just it's crazy. Addiction is a hell of a drug.
It's a hell of a drug. Yeah, it really is.
It really is.
Yeah.
No matter what form that comes in.
I was thinking about I've got issues, a few.
We all do.
I know, but I was like, I feel like I don't know what it is lately, but I feel like I just cannot enter into the next decade of my life. I got a little bit of time to work on it, so I just can't enter into the next decade holding on to most of the stuff that I'm holding on to. And I think one of the things that I do, and it's like, I'm not a liar, but I will give a separate excuse if I think I'm going to hurt your feelings.
You shouldn't do that.
That's exactly it. So I'll give you an example. We got invited over to someone's house. And I was like, well, no, I can't because the sun is, rising on the west and the east and the and they're like, is it because such and such is here? And I was like, no, but it was.
Right.
And
instead of just coming out and saying that's why.
Yeah, exactly. I know they say the truth shall set you free,
It
but
will.
it ain't my shit though. But it ain't my shit though, and I feel very uncomfortable. It's not my story. It's not my thing. I'm just respecting wishes, and I don't know.
It is your story though. Once you make excuses, it becomes your story.
Oh.
And the whole thing is, I told you this years ago when you had your kids.
Mm-hmm.
That, and this because you were going through a lot of stuff, people pulling at you in different directions, like having all these expectations set upon you. Right. And I told you, this is the time in your life where you need to say what's on your mind because you have 3 kids that depend on your honesty. And how you interact with other people is how they're going to react. Right. How you respect other people is how they're going to respect them. And if you don't stand up for yourself, they won't.
Right. Right.
You guys, and it's not like for real. Anybody that's like, well, I ain't fucking with you because you told the truth, they ain't worth it.
You're so right.
You know how many people I don't fuck with no more? You know.
Yeah.
You know. Bye, Felicia. Ain't spoken to them. It hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah.
But what would hurt more is me holding in anger.
Right.
And how many times did I come to you and cry in your lap because I just couldn't.
Right.
Because I was in that much pain. Because I wasn't being true to me.
Right.
Once you let that go, you let go of the anger and you let you be you.
Mm-hmm. But it's crazy because the story that I'm addicted to is that, like, I've said this to you. I don't really tell anybody else, but I say this to you. I've had a very good upbringing and good childhood, but I think a lot of people in my life were mean to me,
mm-hmm.
and I genuinely feel that way. So whenever there's a moment where I feel like I might be mean to someone else, I go back to like this 12-year-old girl where like my mom's telling me, you can't fucking speak English, you can't fucking speak Spanish, you're a fucking mute, you're so fucking stupid. And I remember that car ride where she's just like, you're so fucking stupid. And she kept saying, I know. She's slapping her arm.
Let it go. Girl, you better let it go. These people don't pay your bills.
They do not. But I keep.
They don't even babysit your kids.
They do not.
When's the last time we had a girls' night? Because mofos they don't want to babysit. I'm just saying.
Flat out, you don't want to babysit.
Don't want to babysit. Or mofos. I'm gonna be all the way real. And if you want me to edit this, I will edit this portion. 1, 2, 3. Edit. How many particular mofos, when you had your third quote unquote surprise kid, I watched the other 2, but I ain't watching that one.
I know.
When somebody says that to you, that's when you stand up and you're like, you know what?
Bye.
I am no longer addicted to my story.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see me? You see all 4 of us, and
right.
You want to watch my kids? You watch all 3. You got to move on.
I know. But I'm still dealing with my dad's issues that he gave me.
You're not. You let it go yesterday.
I let it go. I did let it go girl, and I'm ready.
You let it go yesterday.
Listen. It's a process.
It's not a process. Either you're still addicted. You're trying to leave rehab 2 days early.
Oh my God, I gotta write that down. I'm trying to leave rehab 2 days early.
You ain't cured.
I'm not.
This ain't no outpatient therapy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shoot.
But I'm getting there.
About to get my Yangla on up in here. I told a good game until it's my story, and I'd be like, oh.
Well, it's a process.
It's easy to tell somebody else what they need to do.
Yeah. But what you need to do. But see, that's the thing. I feel like I'm getting there because I have the desire. I can't go into this next decade holding on to the shit that I'm holding on to. And I don't think that
Start now.
That's exactly it. Start now. I just can't.
Start as soon as we finish this podcast. You know what I'm referring to, Marissa.
Mm-hmm.
Start as soon as we finish this podcast. You know what you need to do.
Oh, God.
No, you know what you need to do.
I know.
Is you an adult or not? Do you have 3 kids and a husband or not?
I do.
Do you have a dog? Do you have people that depend on you or not?
I do.
Then there you go. Oh. So I'm just saying. Just saying.
I want to transition over to.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yep, that's trending.
So what's the trending this week? What's Yep, that's trending. What is trending? What are we talking about?
I can't remember.
Oh, jeez.
I'm stuck.
At least I wrote it down.
Thank God.
So this week we're talking about money owed.
Oh God,
Dame
thank you.
versus Lee.
Jeez.
Dame Dash versus Lee Daniels.
First of all, wait, before we get into
Break
that,
it down.
I'm just, like I said to you when we were texting before, homeboy with his, like, periwinkle pashmina, he did not have time to play right now, but I have to tell you, the all was missing was a clutching of the pearls, closing his little Chanel bag, and stomping off with his Louboutins. With that, I couldn't take it all. It was dramatic, and I loved it.
It was so dramatic.
I loved it.
Only thing that would have made it better is we could have hear it.
Oh.
Like the captions, thank God for them. But
yeah.
If you could have actually heard it.
Oh, like really, you step into a dude wearing.
Explain what happened.
Okay, so Dame Dash lent
former or the founder of Rockefeller Records with Jay-Z and Kareem Bigsburg.
He lent, what is it, $2 million, correct? $2 million to Lee Daniels back in
early 2000s.
Early 2000s to begin his filming career. Now, Lee Daniels don't need the $2 million.
Why doesn't he need the $2 million?
Oh, I wonder how many movies, how many TV shows,
he got two shows on Fox at that, Empire and Star. I mean.
And the countless movies. Last one was what, The Butler?
The Butler. I think he's made. If I try to sit down and try to name his filmography, it's crazy. But he got more than $2 million.
IMDb him, bitch.
Exactly.
But so he was wearing a periwinkle pashmina. I'm so stuck on the periwinkle pashmina because first of all, it was beautiful. And then he's standing there with his periwinkle pashmina and Dame Dash.
Do you know where they were at?
Weren't they at the BET Awards?
No.
Where were they?
They were at Diana Ross's Hollywood Bowl concert. I mean,
first of all, what?
Yeah, that's what I think they were. I think that's where.
That just makes it even better. I mean, and really? Dame was like, you know what? I think now is time to have this conversation. He stomped up to him and just went in, and all the periwinkle wearing Lee Daniels could do was, I'm gonna call you. But this is where I feel like the legalities of it all is in Dame Dash's favor, because he did admit to the loan.
Yep.
He did admit that he will pay him, but that, now's not the time. I'm gonna call you.
Damon. He kept calling. Everybody calls him Dame. He's like Damon. Not.
Listen, if you're wearing a periwinkle pashmina, don't call nobody Dame.
Lee Daniels thought he had Dame Dash from 1990s.
Mm-mm.
He thought that mofo was gonna cold clock him, so he was waiting for the hit. Dame was like, nah, it's a new era. I want my money. Fuck you, pay me. Yeah, that really was a fuck you, pay me. And I don't blame Dame, because it's like, well, a couple of people I had a conversation with about this, they were like, he waited 10 years? Because this was 10 years ago. Like, why you wait so long? Precious Dumpin came out and...
First of all, it don't matter. I had a lawsuit that took like 10 years, and I still don't have my effing money.
It don't matter.
It don't matter, yeah.
It is what it is. But you know who's having best week ever?
Who?
Monique. Because she's like, I done told y'all. Because remember she went on, everybody was like, oh, she crazy.
No,
but this week everybody's like, oh, Monique was right.
But I think she still is a little touched.
She might be a little nutty or touched, but she was right. She was saying the same thing that Dame was like, I'm not doing it for free. You shady out here. You trying, and that's how Lee came across. And I was talking to someone the other day, I think my mother, and I was like, the thing that makes you question Lee Daniels' character is the fact that, like, when other stars work with certain people, when they describe that person, it's like, oh my God, he's so nice, he's such a joy. They don't say that about him. They're like, he's talented.
Right.
He's very creative. Whenever somebody...
There's a lot to be said with no words.
With not saying. Yeah. Right. So it's like, nobody ever says, oh my God, he's such a great guy. And whenever somebody says they're a great guy, then I'm like, oh, they probably,
Yeah. You're good at that. You're so good at hearing what people don't say.
I know.
You're so spot on, because
I really am.
And there have been moments where I'm like, oh, but they said he's a great guy. No, but listen, usually when you say this, it means that, and I'm like, oh my.
I mean, it's true though, if you think about it. And then the truth always comes out. You're like, see, they didn't.
Can't be surprised.
Yeah, you like listen to what they don't say.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that for me personally, that's only because I wear hearing aids. And so it's like you're focused. You're focused more. You're forced to focus. Exactly. But you're forced to focus. You know what I mean? And it's like, the things that people say, it's funny because when my step grandfather passed away, at his wake, one of the guys came up and was like, he was the son of a bitch, cheated in cards, and like, oh, it's like, and none of it was surprising. Mm-hmm. Anything, everybody's laughing and everything. It's like,
but he did cheat at cards.
He was that guy. Yeah. I got the biggest house in the block. He's that guy. Yeah. But nobody was like, he was such a nice guy. He was generous. It's like, listen to what they're not saying at this man's wake. He's dead. This is the one time where you say the nicest things. If nobody's saying nothing nice, it's like, well, damn. Yeah. You're always going to get somebody crying, whether they,
It's so funny. Talking about, like, the what people don't say. Whenever, you ever notice, like, when somebody's trying to, like, set you up with somebody, they're like, he's really nice, and you're like, he's fucking ugly.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. Oh, so that means he's fucking ugly. He's short, breast smells, halitosis, overweight.
So with this Dame versus Lee, it all really stems from money owed. Right. So how do you feel about lending money and the whole money situation?
Well, see, I'm about to have a visceral reaction. I'm like twitching and everything. I lent somebody money. The deal went sour.
Does it mean just because we need to settle this now? I get my credit card out.
No, I didn't sue you, bitch. I sued somebody else.
Oh, okay. You didn't mention to sue. You said you lent somebody. I did. No, you said that before.
So I lent somebody money. Deal went sour, so I sued him. I won, but I still haven't gotten paid. I'm real fucking salty, but I will say this. There is a good price to pay to get some shit off your shoe. There was a PTA mom who's a mess, and I think she's a drug addict. She keeps asking me for money, so finally I gave her $40, and I said, you don't have to pay me back, but you can never ask me again. Now she don't bother me.
That's so
she don't even talk to me. And I like it that way.
I have a cousin like that. She was like, can I borrow money? And I was like, okay. So I lent her the money. She's like, I'm going to call you tomorrow. I ain't heard from that bitch. It's June? About to be July. I ain't heard from her since February? Relative. Yeah. But it's like, if you loan somebody money, think of it as giving.
What did my mom always say? I don't lend money, I give. And if I ain't got it to give, then don't lend it.
Right. That's the way. I mean, and so, but $2 million.
$2 million. That's a lot.
That's an investment in somebody's project.
Yeah, he should get his money back.
Where's your paperwork? Yeah, right. That was your boy, or was it just like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it just don't. But he's in court trying to get it settled. What is wrong with Lee? Like, bro, just pay the money.
$2 million? $2 million. Like, it's really not that much.
You probably paid that for that pashmina that you love. The pashmina.
The periwinkle pashmina. I'm telling you, once people start Googling this, they're going to see.
I'm going to post it to this clip.
All they can do is focus on that periwinkle pashmina. It's gorgeous. Oh, like, he really needed to stomp off with some Louboutins. Like, I don't have time for this.
Thought he was Cardi B up in there?
Oh, first of all,
no, Cardi B would have cut him.
She would have punched him right in
the face. Who do you think you are stepping to me at Dino, call me Mr. Ross's concert? Concert.
Did you see she had her baby shower? Yeah. Well, wait, hold on a second. First of all, you know I'm the queen of secrets. I don't tell nobody nothing. First the fuck all, did you see that she let it out finally that she's married to Offset? And they've been married to 9 months?
Revealed it. That's the only reason why.
But talk about not having said nothing to nobody.
That's kind of hot. Even I don't know if her sister wasn't even at the wedding. It was a cousin.
They just, got up and did it.
That's the way you do it.
Yeah.
I remember back to my Addicted to My Story, when I was engaged, we went to the courthouse.
Oh my gosh.
We were there, and it was like, I was like, you sure you, like, I didn't care. I was like, well, I don't need a wedding, whatever. Right. And then he's like, no, I want to give you, he had his opportunity. Once you made me step back and be like, it was over.
For you, it was over?
No, it wasn't over for me in that moment. Right. But you made it in a situation where it could, the possibility of being ended. You know what I mean? You left the door open to end it. Right. Down the road. Instead of, you know how much hard, like, I'd probably still be married because I'm not trying to be a divorcee. I probably would have still been married. And
I'm
he would have been
laughing,
calling you a spick.
Yeah.
Because he was like that.
He did. So talking about, he would be calling me a spick, but making himself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in my kitchen.
Up in your house.
In my kitchen. Mofo.
Oh my gosh. Anyway.
I'm still laughing at the whole, like, we were having pork chops, rice and beans, and all this amazing food, and he's like eyeing, like, them beans better not have pork in it.
Bro, and then there's some one of the ingredients that he always used, and he found it had pork, been eating it forever. He's like, oh, I don't care. I was like,
now it's
okay?
You don't care? Yeah, now you
anyway,
don't. Whatever.
This is, you know what? I can't talk about him no more. We got to move on.
Girl, you better let it go.
We gotta move on. My God, I can't.
Well, but see, this is an aha moment. Let it go.
Yeah, let it go.
Let it go.
But but back with the money owed thing. I have loaned money before.
Yeah.
But I always loaned with the express. I don't do it anymore, but I always loaned it with the express feeling that I was gonna get the money back.
Yeah.
And you know how many times I've loaned and have like a lot of money.
Oh.
And I mean, I loaned more than $5,000 to someone, and I've only gotten $500 back.
Oh my word.
I just had to swallow hard because I'm like,
I can't. That just gave me a headache.
It's difficult. I've loaned to family members and.
Well, see, what's so good about me? Everybody thinks I'm stupid and flighty. Don't nobody ask me for money.
Well, that's not good. It's not. You don't want them to think that way. You want them to not come to you because they know that they can't borrow from you. I wouldn't want somebody to not come to me because they think I'm flighty.
I don't know.
Come
Who
to me
knows?
because
Maybe that's my issue. Maybe they know.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
know.
projecting. You're projecting. You don't be projecting.
Own it.
Oh my God.
Anyway. Okay. Listen. As I wish I had a periwinkle pashmina to swoop over my shoulder, I think today was a good show, Holmes.
Yeah, it's good. Hopefully, you won't end this and cry, and just know that you're strong enough to deal with any BS that comes your way. Stand up. Stand up to them.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Stand up.
I don't know that song.
Stand up.
Anyway.
Well, Tamika.
Yes.
You're enough.
You're enough.
I love
Thanks.
you.
Love you too.
And
we'll actually see you before the week's over because we have a special surprise for everybody.
Yes.
We'll talk about it next time though.
Dun dun dun.
Anyway, good show. And if you wanna find us, we're on Instagram at YepYaYes, and on Twitter, was it YepYaYes or YepYaYes18? See, now I forgot. YepYaYes is one of them, and YepYaYes18 is the other. What the hell?
Listen, I'm gonna need more Instagram people. Oh,
what the heck?
Can we talk about Instagram for a second?
Okay. No, go ahead, bring it up. I know what you're gonna say.
No.
Okay, we'll bring it up on another show.
Yeah.
Because we should probably talk about that.
Instagram is YepYaYes18.
And Twitter is simply YepYaYes.
YepYaYes.
Alrighty, thank y'all. See you next time.
Babu.